Hey, MzeroA Nation, Jason here. Turning stalls part 2. That video was so quick, and for YouTube and Facebook, we try to make very quick videos. People have very short attention spans, but I also realize there's a big part of our audience, of our family, that wants to go deeper, that wants to learn more. So I want to really kind of give you behind the scenes and just a little bit more about turning stalls. In this case, a power-on turning stall. We'll play some of the clips and some of the footage, by the way, that we weren't able to use, so you'll be able to see that. One thing I shared in the clip is that I understand we practice stalls to practice recoveries, and that will always be true. Yet I still want to make it as realistic as possible. Let me grab 2, 3 Mike Zulu real quick. I still want to make it as realistic as possible here. So I want to simulate like I am taking off. So to do that, I need to first slow the airplane down. So I bring my carburetor heat on, I pull my power on back, I want to slow to like my rotation speed. You see, if you don't do this, if you just go from cruise flight to power on stall, you're going to climb 500 feet and you're basically cheating. You'll stall eventually, but you're just going to climb so much. It's also dangerous too, because you did clearing turns to clear a very specific area. Perhaps you weren't looking 500 to 700 feet above you where you're going to end up, right? So slow the airplane down to about your rotation speed, 60, 65, wherever that's at. And then we apply full power. And this is important. I used to be terrified of stalls. Show of hands, type in me in the chat. I'd say, Jason, yeah, I was terrified of stalls, still am maybe, right? No shame in that. I was terrified of stalls. So I had a very smart instructor, and one thing she said to me is, Jason, we don't have to do these full power yet. Eventually we will, but let's work our way into it. Our first power on stalls were at like a run-up RPM, like a 17 or 1800 RPMs. Might as well have been more of a power off stall, but it helped me get over that fear of just sitting so far back, looking so far up. You feel like you're a helicopter, right? The kind of logging rotorcraft time eventually. So you don't have to start off with full power if this is a fear that you have. Go to 2000 RPMs and work your way up to 25 or 2600, whatever full power is in your aircraft. Now in the video, I gave the example, I went full power and I said, let's say ATC gives us an immediate right-hand turn. So we make that right turn, we're taking off, we're coming up and out of here, and you heard the stall warning horn come on. You could hear that through my headset. And all of a sudden, we were facing this direction. When we went to brake, the airplane broke to the left. Why did the airplane end up braking to the left? Now, a lot of it has to do with our coordination. Sometimes the airplane will just brake the direction you have it. Sometimes the airplane will end up braking the opposite direction. It comes down to a few things: your bank angle, where does the stall actually occur on the wing itself, and of course our level of coordination. So the fear we have is in that turn when it's that abrupt break over, right? Because that's kind of close to a spin, at least in our minds, and it's correct. I mean, that's one of the first levels of kind of getting into a spin. We have to go through that phase there. But when that breaks over, and what you'll see me do here, I'm already at full power, so I don't need to go full power. What I want you to see is how we go yoke full forward. Even though the nose is diving and slicing towards the ground, I still have to push that yoke, push that nose forward. Then I don't know how well you can see the rudder pedals, any of the camera angles we have, but I'll just tell you what I was doing. I was stepping opposite the turn. I'm braking left, so I'm stepping right. Step opposite the turn. So on my recovery, I was pushing forward and stepping opposite the turn. I was already at full power. I recovered just like that, broke the stall, and it was time to then level the wings and then slowly bring that nose up. Now, if you're really aggressively nose down, you start picking up a lot of speed, and you should be careful on bringing that nose up. You might even need to bring some power back on that recovery if you get pushing into like VA as an airspeed there for a bit. You need to be mindful of that, just not to increase the load factor greatly on the airplane. We practice stalls to practice recoveries. I made this video for those pursuing mastery. And I imagine that is you all looking for something more, not satisfied with just the status quo, but always choosing to pursue more in your aviation. So thank you. You help us every day fulfill our mission, our vision, our values of creating safer, smarter pilots. Hey, if you want to continue that aviation mastery, I encourage you, if you're on Facebook, to check out the MzeroA Nation Facebook group. Just go on Facebook, search MzeroA Nation. I'll have the team post it in the description below this as well. Check it out though. I'm telling you, it's certainly worth your time. If you're just looking for a group that's there's not a lot of haters and everything else. It is just people looking to make themselves and others around them better, safer, smarter in aviation. I bet that's right up your alley if you're watching this video. Anyways, have a blessed, amazing rest of your day, and most importantly, remember that a good pilot is always learning. Have a great afternoon, everyone. We'll see ya.